All right, today we are installing the WPN overhead rifle mount for the Jeep JL. This should work on obviously your 2-door and 4-door because there's nothing different up here. But it looks like it mounts in the one hole that's available right there. And then it comes across and just barely sits and rests on that overhead console. And then there's a mount you put on each side for whatever you want to put in here. So let me get this back out and we'll get everything tightened down, our screws put in, and get our mounts hooked up. Okay, just in from UPS, literally, is the WPN Gear overhead mount for the Jeep Wrangler, and it's got you can put different kinds of mounts and stuff on these. I opted for the more traditional rifle buttstock because I might want to put something other than an AR in here. I might want to put a shotgun or a different kind of rifle. So when I placed the order, he called me immediately. We talked for like 15 minutes, super cool guy. And I explained kind of what I wanted. So this obviously will grip the front of the firearm. And on the AR, they've actually got the carbine tube clamp, but I didn't want that because I wanted to be able to be a little more universal. So installation looks really easy. A couple different mounting tabs to put on each end. They really only go on one way because there's nuts welded on them. You could, I suppose, flip them over and put them on the wrong way. No, you really couldn't. So there isn't really a way that you can mess this up. It looks extremely simple to do and a very well thought out design because of how it integrates with the hard top removal and the latches. So you need a T30 to put the end tabs on, and you should probably leave those loose so this thing will slide around a little bit so you can mount up the 9/16 bolts that go through. And then the only thing I'm going to do different is this sits on top of your paint. So just to make sure that I don't scratch up the Jeep, I've got some waterproof electrical tape floating around here somewhere. I'll find it. I was going to put a thin strip on right here just so that wouldn't sit there and grind on the paint. Where did I put that? It is sitting somewhere. It's probably in the, oh, it's on the truck. Look at that. So let's put the camera back. When I dry fit this just a bit ago is when I realized it would probably be beneficial to have something on here so it doesn't scratch up the paint. I don't know if that's even that big of a deal, but it seems like a good idea to me. That is a dull knife. There we go. And then I'll have to poke a hole for the screw, for the bolt, excuse me. We'll cut out our bolt hole. Might be easier said than done. Nope, it's going. There we go. There's the one. And there's the other. Cool. Okay. And that is for your 9/16 bolts to come up through the frame there. The other thing we need to do, we should be able to, because this goes in like this, so we should be able to mount our first grip here ahead of time. And I'm thinking, in fact, let me go get the rifle, my truck gun. So this will give me a good idea of where I need to put this front grip. So it actually looks like I need to be on this side of, let me make sure you can see that. Yep. I need to be on this side of the mount. And then gotta decide which way I want this thing pointed. Let's do, if I put you like that, there we go. That should work. Because remember, you got to flip this around, so that's actually towards the driver. This is towards the windshield. I think, if I did that right. Yep, it should be. So this is towards the windshield. So I'll have to play with that. I might flip this back around and have it point the other way. Depends what I see when we get this put in. But I'm gonna get these screwed on and then we'll move over to the Jeep. And I've still got everything just loose right now. There we go. So you can see why I wanted to put some some kind of black rubber buffer down. There we go. There's passenger side. Okay, there you have it. That's the finished product, fully installed with a rifle mounted in the rack. This side over here, so this is about eye level right here. So if you were to slam forward really hard, the passenger's head would actually hit this rifle right here. It's almost like this mount needs to be up just like another inch. I might offer that as some feedback because the rifle's actually sitting like this. It's not flat. So I don't know if that's, you can pick that up, probably not, but I like it. Everything works. This grip on my rifle does impede the passenger head or the passenger visor just a little bit. But I'm usually the only one in the vehicle. And then the only other thing I can see is this is rubbing on my stock here pretty good. So I'm going to figure out a way to do something to pad this so it's not quite so violent while you're off-roading. I think that's going to just sit there and rattle, and it's going to just chew the crap out of the back of the gun. But it's in, so there we go. This isn't something that's going to live in here. This obviously isn't a locking mount. I just wanted to try it out and see if I liked it. We got to do something about this right here, and that's just because this is not a padded stock of any kind. But I'm pretty sure I could put some kind of pad right here so it wouldn't chew this all up. Like a lot of my shotgun stuff have a rubber pad that's actually sits right here. So you can still get to the roof latch right here. You actually do have to come over the top. See if you can pick that up. So there's my fingers, and you can pop that down, goes right back. The only thing I did notice was on the roof latches, these, they don't open to a full 90, but you also don't need them to. So it actually does hit, and that might just be, I just need to adjust this thing a little bit. But you can get to those and take your freedom panels off, no problem. So there's that driver's side latch, and yeah. So the only modification I made was up there. I put that little piece of waterproof electrical tape as kind of a buffer, just so it didn't chew the paint up. Because as you can see right here, since there's no washer on that, I actually, obviously you scratch the paint a little bit putting that bolt in. So I'm going to at some point here we'll do an off-roading trip, and I'll bring the rifle. This is one of those things that it's not a locking mount, it's a theft, you know, attractant, because let me get the visor back up. I got the windows down a little bit, but it's relatively, well, not with the reflection of the lights, but it's relatively easy to see that there's something in there. That scope sticks out like a sore thumb. So I do still have the seat back mounted from condition 0, but it blocks the MOLLE webbing here. I haven't decided if I'm going to put that back in this Jeep or not. This seat's in a fixed position, so it doesn't go forward, and or it doesn't come all the way forward like the two-door JK did. So, but yeah, see, that's all the further it goes. So if you're sitting in there, you can slide the seat forward and back, but I haven't decided if I'm going to put that one back in here yet or not, because I wanted to try overhead. So we're going to give this a go and see what it looks like.